Free Ultimate Guide to Moving to Nairobi, Kenya by Just Drew. Introduction. About the author. This book is authored by Just Drew, the YouTube creator and content producer of media shared on the Just Drew YouTube channel and podcast. This book reflects the author's personal research and experience in the subject matter of relocating to Africa, specifically Nairobi, Kenya. Having lived in Scandinavia for over 8 years during different periods, the information was garnered while relocating back to Nairobi, Kenya, and experiences through the process. Though each individual's process will differ slightly, this ebook will provide a breakdown of all that has to be considered in their relocation process. If in need of further information regarding relocating to Nairobi, Kenya, the author can be consulted on justdrew40s@gmail.com. Disclaimer. This book is intended for informational purposes only and is designed to provide a general overview of relocating to Nairobi, Kenya. The content within this book reflects the author's research and personal insights at the time of publication. While every effort has been made to ensure the accuracy of the information, it is not intended as professional advice or a comprehensive guide for relocation. The information presented may change over time, and the author makes no claims regarding the accuracy, completeness, or applicability of the content to any specific situation. For detailed, personalized advice regarding relocation to Nairobi or any other part of Kenya, it is highly recommended that readers consult a relocation expert or professional service based in the country to receive tailored guidance. By reading this book, the reader acknowledges and accepts that the author and publisher are not responsible for any decisions or actions taken based on the content provided. Copyright 2025 by Just Drew. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without the prior written permission of the publisher, except for brief quotations embodied in critical reviews or articles. Introduction. This free ebook provides essential information for anyone considering relocating to Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya. I was inspired to write this book after returning to Nairobi, my hometown, following nearly 6 years of living abroad in Copenhagen, Denmark. I had previously lived in Linköping and Gothenburg in Sweden for approximately 3 years. As a Kenyan, I realized there was a lack of updated, comprehensive resources for individuals looking to resettle in Kenya. This guide covers a variety of important aspects that people may overlook, but are crucial for a smooth transition. It will help you plan more effectively and set realistic expectations about living in Nairobi. If you are generally curious about Nairobi, Kenya, this book will also give you a good idea of what life could be like if you choose to relocate. The information in this book is useful for people of all ages and backgrounds, whether you're young, retired, working, or just considering a change of environment. Contents, visa requirements, housing locations and options, housing utilities and amenities, housing utility payments, banking, household and grocery shopping schools, insurance, healthcare, social activities, language, cost of living, conservative cultural landscape, and LGBTQ perspectives, cultural etiquette, transportation, climate and weather, pet relocation, childcare, Nairobi security, bribery, and corruption avoiding scams. Visa requirements. Before traveling to Kenya under any capacity, it is essential to apply for a visa that allows entry into the country. The application process is online via the website linked eCitizen Visa Application. You must have your visa in hand before boarding the flight to Kenya, whether you're relocating, traveling for business, or tourism. Some African nationals may not require a visa. They can confirm the same using the same link or via their travel agent. Do not travel without securing a visa, as airlines are penalized for allowing passengers to board without the correct documentation and will not allow you to board without one. Make sure you apply for the visa early to avoid disappointment. Apply approximately 1 month before travel, though government websites state that one can get e-visa approval as little as 3 days prior to traveling. One option for easy access to Kenya is to apply for a 3-month tourist visa, which gives you the opportunity to explore Nairobi and decide if you want to settle here. I would highly encourage one to visit Nairobi prior to relocating here. Before your 3-month visa expires, you must either leave and re-enter the country for another 3-month visa, or apply for a longer-term visa if you wish to stay longer. Though renewing your visa is an option, a more permanent visa offers greater stability. Visit Nairobi in Kenya on a 3-month visa, extend it if need be, and take the opportunity to explore whether living in Kenya for the long term will be beneficial to your life goals. If needed, you can consult an immigration lawyer to assist with the visa process via the author's email address. Housing, location, and option. It is crucial to explore and understand the area where you plan to live before making a long-term commitment to stay in Nairobi. Many people choose to stay in Airbnbs as they offer the flexibility of breaking the contract early, in case you do not like the location or the amenities. It is easier to cancel your stay at an Airbnb than with a long-term lease. Nairobi has various neighborhoods that a person accustomed to Western living can choose from. These range from middle-class areas like Westlands, Kilimani, and Kileleshwa, and their environs to more high-end suburban settings like Muthaiga, Karen, Peponi, Kitasuru, and the outskirts of Nairobi. You will want to carefully consider factors such as proximity to work, safety, and local amenities before committing. Consider settling in an Airbnb or short-term lease apartment for the initial months, as it will provide you with the feel of the area, as well as a feel of day-to-day living in Nairobi, without overcommitting yourself. Doing this will save you money and ensure you are secure in your decision when you choose an area to live in for the long term. And hotels are always an option. Housing, utilities, and amenities. Important to consider security, privacy, and whether your accommodation has reliable electricity and water supply. The primary way a large part of Nairobi gets their electricity is via KPLC, Kenya Power and Lighting Corporation. Many apartment buildings have power generators in case of power blackouts, which can run for several hours in some rare instances. Some apartment buildings have no generator at all. This means you will experience power outages inside your unit during power blackouts. To avoid this, make sure the apartment or house you choose includes a reliable generator that covers both the inside of your property and common areas. Inquire as to whether the property you are considering settling in has water sourced from the county government, or whether it has a borehole that provides water to the property. Unfortunately, the county government does not provide regular and reliable water. Several apartment buildings, however, have boreholes as a supplement to the water that the county should provide. Make sure to clarify with the landlord how the property sources its water to avoid inconvenience. If you are considering renting a house, keep in mind that while houses can offer more space and greenery, they often lack modern amenities and may be farther from the city center, which could make commuting. Additionally, individual houses rarely have their own power generator or private borehole, which could be an inconvenience. Housing, deposit, and rent. For long-term rental leasing, you may be requested to pay for a 2 or 3 month deposit plus 1 month's rent. Rent is typically paid monthly, though some landlords request quarterly payments. Negotiating rental prices is common in Nairobi, so do not hesitate to discuss terms. Security in this case refers to the security provided to the property and its inhabitants, and covers security guards, CCTV, and alarms in case of break-ins. At all times, one will need to inquire what the security of the property entails. In the case of Airbnb, the security is included in the fee charged. When looking into rental properties, the security provided is usually covered by the service charge that is paid for the apartment. Service charge. Service charge is an additional fee besides the monthly rent. It covers a wide range of services and amenities that may be provided in a property, which may include, but are not limited to, security, maintenance of common areas, e.g., corridors, gardens, pools, gyms, sauna, garbage collection, etc. The service charge is required for every property so as to maintain the property to the required standard. Whether you are renting through Airbnb or leasing an apartment house, ensure that your contract terms are clear and that you understand and are comfortable with the terms. Do not hesitate to have a knowledgeable real estate agent or lawyer look through the contract prior to signing to prevent any misunderstandings. Housing, utility payments. When renting, especially through Airbnb, utilities like electricity and water are typically included in the cost. However, if you are leasing an apartment or house, confirm whether these expenses will be covered by the landlord, included in your final rent, or if they will be your responsibility to pay. For convenience, it may be easier to have utilities included in your rent, allowing you to pay your landlord a flat fee. However, since there's a risk of being overcharged by the landlord, it may be safer to pay utilities directly yourself to the service provider. In Nairobi, utility services include electricity, water, and security. Ensure these details are clearly stated in your rental contract. If utilities are disconnected, it can be a hassle to have them restored. Therefore, it is important to confirm who is responsible for their payment before signing a lease and to understand how to pay these fees in a timely manner. Payments can be made easily through M-Pesa, one of Kenya's mobile money payment services, or via a local bank. Once you get a local telephone line, you should be able to access mobile money services. The most common is Safaricom, who are the providers of M-Pesa. A good alternative is Airtel, with their mobile money service Airtel Money. Banking. Upon relocating to Nairobi, it's highly advisable to keep your bank account open in your home country while also opening a local Kenyan bank account. Many financial commitments and transactions may require you to have a local account. In Kenya, M-Pesa is a widely used mobile payment platform, so it is essential to ensure that you have sufficient funds in whichever mobile money account you choose for ease of payment of service. Most places charge your services accept M-Pesa or other mobile money providers. Payment by card, though available in some situations, is less accessible. Having a local bank account will make it easier to transfer money from your bank account to M-Pesa, enabling seamless transactions. There are various banks in Nairobi, and you can choose one based on convenience, services, and accessibility. Your international bank account will likely suffice for most of your needs, but a local account will help with everyday transactions. Local banks, which understand requirements of one newly coming to the country, are ABSA, Standard Chartered Bank, Stanbic Bank, and NCBA. These banks also provide premium service if one is interested. Household and grocery shopping. Nairobi offers a wide selection of supermarkets, catering to both local and international tastes. Supermarkets are generally well stocked and typically cover everything from food to cleaning supplies and alcohol. For more specific products, there are specialty stores that may not be widely known and may require a bit of effort to locate. You can also buy fresh fruits and vegetables from street vendors, though you must consider hygiene conditions before purchasing. An increasingly popular option is online shopping. Several platforms offer delivery services, which saves you time, especially considering Nairobi's traffic. The most common form of payment is M-Pesa, and most stores accept it, and major international cards, Visa, and MasterCard are also accepted. You can schedule your delivery time and even communicate with the delivery person if needed. While tipping is optional, it is encouraged to show appreciation for the delivery staff. Common online shopping apps include Green Spoon, Carrefour, Glovo, and Uber Eats. Schools. If you're relocating with school-age children, It is essential to thoroughly research schools you are considering for them. Many schools with an international curriculum list their tuition fees and curriculum online, and you can also reach out to the school directly for more information. Before committing to a school, it's advisable to visit in person to assess its facilities, security, and overall environment. Additionally, check if the school offers transportation services, as this is often an additional cost. Consider the distance from your home to the school to minimize the time spent in traffic for both you and your child. Insurance. Before relocating to Nairobi, it's highly recommended to ensure that you have appropriate health insurance coverage. This should be valid both in your home country and in Kenya, covering any medical needs that may arise during your stay. Health insurance in Kenya varies, so it's important to find a plan that fits your needs, whether you are covered in private hospitals or prefer international coverage. Healthcare. Nairobi boasts a wide range of healthcare facilities, including private hospitals and specialized doctors in private practice. Depending on your healthcare needs, it might be worth having a private doctor, as their hours are more flexible and appointments are easier to secure. If you have pre-existing health conditions, research whether these can be adequately treated in Nairobi, so you do not face difficulties accessing specialized care. While the healthcare system in Nairobi has improved, it's always wise to know where the nearest quality hospital or clinic is. Major private hospitals are Aga Khan Hospital, Parklands, Nairobi Hospital, and Karen Hospital. Social activities. Nairobi offers a diverse range of social activities, from dining and entertainment to cultural experiences. The city attracts many tourists, and there are plenty of things to do year-round with good online presence. A simple Google search is sure to provide what you may need. Nairobi has a vibrant nightlife scene with many bars, clubs, and lounges, as well as a variety of social events. Locals enjoy entertaining friends and family in their homes, and this is an option you may want to embrace with close friends. The city and country are predominantly Christian, but there are also mosques and temples for those of other faiths. You can easily find churches, mosques, and other places of worship through Google or by asking locals. All religions are respected in Kenya. It is important to properly vet anyone you invite into your home. Language. English is widely spoken alongside Swahili, the national language. Many Kenyans also speak their local tribal language as a third option. Communication is generally easy, and English will serve you well in most situations. However, picking up a few Swahili phrases will help you better connect with the locals, and it will show respect for the culture. Kenya has a rich linguistic diversity, and many people enjoy helping newcomers learn Swahili and even the local dialects. English is not the first language for many Kenyans. Due to this, pronunciations may be heavily accented at times. Speaking more with local people will assist one in getting used to the Kenyans' different English accent. Cost of living. The cost of living in Nairobi is generally lower than in many Western cities, though this can vary depending on your lifestyle. Housing, food, transportation, and utilities are affordable, but it's important to create a budget to track your expenses effectively. Rent in Nairobi can vary significantly based on the location and type of accommodation. For instance, living in a central location such as Westlands or Kilimani is more expensive than living in some suburbs, especially because the housing in these areas is newer and has more amenities available. Transportation costs, for example, taxis, buses, or Uber, should also be factored into your budget. For monthly rent, budget $1,000 and above for a newly built 2-bedroom apartment in the upper areas of town, such as Westlands, Kileleshwa, Kilimani, and their environs. Grocery costs are lower than in many Western countries, but imported goods or high-end products can be pricier. If one is living on a tight budget, you can shop at markets rather than supermarkets. Conservative cultural landscape and LGBTQ plus perspectives. Nairobi, like many places in Africa, has a complex stance on LGBTQ plus issues. Kenya has conservative views on sexuality, and laws against same-sex relationships still exist. Social attitudes towards LGBTQ are generally conservative, and public acceptance is limited. For LGBTQ plus individuals, it's important to exercise caution and be aware of your environment. Although Nairobi has a growing expat community that may be more open-minded, it is crucial to stay informed about local laws and attitudes. There are LGBTQ plus support groups and communities, but they may operate more discreetly due to the legal landscape. Understanding local norms and sensitivities is essential to navigating life in Nairobi, especially when it comes to matters of public interaction. Always prioritize your safety and well-being. Cultural etiquette. Understanding local culture and etiquette is important for successfully integrating into Nairobi. Kenyans are known for being friendly and welcoming, but there are cultural norms that you should be mindful of to avoid misunderstandings. Someone may be seen as rude. A handshake or saying habari or hello is a common and polite way to interact with others. Social norms. People in Nairobi tend to be polite and helpful. It's important to respect elders, and it is considered courteous to greet people before engaging in any conversation. Personal space is respected, and any physical contact beyond a handshake should be avoided in formal situations. Dress code. Nairobi is a cosmopolitan city, but it's important to dress modestly, particularly in professional settings. Business attire is expected in offices, while casual wear is acceptable in social situations. However, avoid overly revealing clothing in public, especially when in religious or more traditional environments. Transportation. Ride-sharing apps such as Uber and Bolt are widely used by locals and internationals alike. Public transport known as matatus are largely used by locals. Leasing of vehicles, as is done in the U.S. and other countries, is uncommon and generally overpriced. It could be helpful to have a regular taxi that can transport you when need be without relying on a taxi app. Gauge different drivers that you get based on punctuality, professionalism, cleanliness, etc., and have a chat with one to see whether they are open to a private taxi arrangement. This can be beneficial, especially if you have a regular schedule or have children that you would need transported to and from school. If you choose this route, always request a copy of their national ID and a certificate of good conduct. Climate and weather. Nairobi enjoys a mild climate, with temperatures ranging from 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit at night, and during the cool season to 26 degrees Celsius and above in the warmer months. The city experiences 2 rainy seasons, a long rainy season from March to May, and a shorter rainy season from October to December. It's important to pack for mild weather, but be prepared for occasional heavy downpours, especially during the rainy seasons. Bring layers for early morning, an umbrella, and comfortable clothing for both warm and cooler weather. Nairobi's altitude, about 1,795 meters, 5,889 feet above sea level, also means it tends to be cooler than most tropical cities. Pet relocation and care. If you plan to relocate with your pets, contact your airline to get information about the requirements and process. Just like in many Western countries, people keep pets in their homes and apartments in Nairobi. There are several veterinary services available, and pet care is widely available. However, always inform your landlord about your pet. Some accommodations may not allow them. Try to ensure that the neighborhood is suitable for pets, with access to walking areas, especially if the property does not have a garden. Childcare. Many families, both local and international, in Nairobi hire nannies to assist with childcare. Nannies can either come on a daily basis or live with the family depending on the needs of the family. In many cases, nannies are treated as part of the family, and the relationship goes beyond just being transactional. This practice may differ from Western norms, but it's common in Nairobi. It's important to build trust with the nanny before fully relying on them, and to ensure that proper communication is established. Vet all persons, including nannies, who come into your employ. Ensure they provide references and get a copy of their national ID card. To avoid misunderstanding, always provide written contracts for all persons under your employ. Nairobi safety, bribery, and corruption. Safety can be a concern in Nairobi, especially for foreigners who might stand out based on how one sounds or dresses. It's crucial to research the areas you plan to walk through, as some neighborhoods are safer than others. Keep your belongings secure, as items like phones, wallets, cameras, and jewelry can attract unwanted attention. Walking around at night is generally not advised due to poor lighting and limited police presence. If you must go out after dark, ensure you are in a safe area and avoid carrying items that could make you an easy target. While in your apartment, always keep all your doors locked and request for a new lock from your landlord if moving into a new apartment. Ensure you retain all the keys to your door. Use your door chain when opening your door, and if you do not have one, request it from your landlord. Always be alert. While corruption exists in some public services, you should never feel obligated to pay bribes for government services. Know your rights, and remember that you are entitled to receive services provided by government offices. Avoid walking alone at night, or once darkness begins to settle in. Walk in areas you are familiar with. Always inform someone of your whereabouts. Avoiding scams. While Nairobi is generally safe, like in any major city, you need to be cautious of scams. Personal information. Do not give out your personal details, contact details, or bank details unnecessarily. Bank transactions. For large transactions, carry out bank transfers either online or at the banking hall, and ensure you have the details of the parties involved with appropriate contracts signed, as well as copies of their national ID or passport in your possession. Stay connected. Always inform someone, whether a friend or family, of your whereabouts. It's wise to share your location with someone via text or phone tracking apps. Trust, but verify. Always verify any information or offers before committing to them, particularly with online transactions or dealings with strangers. Be cautious of unsolicited business opportunities, especially those that seem too good to be true. Conclusion. Thank you for taking the time to buy and read through What It Takes to Move to Nairobi, Kenya. As with anything else challenging, it is definitely worth the effort if you set your mind to it. If you would like assistance relocating to Nairobi, you can reach out via email on justdrew40s@gmail.com.